Hello, good evening, good morning, whatever.
I'm all pixelated. No.
You're pixelated? You're a little
Yeah,
pixelated. I don't know.
eh,
Technical
whatever.
issues, it's fine. We'll move on.
Hair cleared up.
It'll clear
We're
up.
getting fucked up.
Like my skin in high school, it'll clear up.
Oh, those four dudes just jumped Tony, and now that team's gonna lose.
Those four dudes.
Yes.
Um, hey everybody, it's me. It's Michael. Welcome to Kicking Out 2. This is my partner, Tori. Say hi, Tori.
Hi, Tori.
There you go. Great
You
joke.
know, and all the times that you've said that that's the first time I've thought to do that.
Well, great as time as any. We're just gonna hop right into it. Tori's got a guest tonight, so we're gonna try to keep this short and sweet. We're trying not to go off the rails like we normally do. So let's go ahead and hit it right on the news. Let the little news theme play. There we go. All right. Um, hot,
First time I've heard that.
hot off the presses. Um, Something literally just popped in as soon as I started getting everything ready, so I had to throw it in here real quick. Did you know that there is going to be a roast of WrestleMania as part of WrestleMania weekend?
I'm aware
Do
of
you
this
know?
horrible idea.
Do you know who is going to be the master of ceremonies?
Uh-huh.
Yep, Tony
I'm betting,
Hinchcliffe.
I'm betting we're not halfway through this before he drops a slur of some kind.
Well, so here's the thing about it. So first of all, for those that don't know, Tony Hinchcliffe, he is the we'll call comedian that was at the Trump rallies that made the very inappropriate joke of the island of trash or island made out of trash. I forget how he referenced it, talking about Puerto Rico. Um, the one that Trump completely disavowed any knowledge of the moment that it happened. You don't know who it was. I didn't hire them. They didn't talk to me. I would have got Roseanne. Because quite frankly, sorry.
That's so good.
I
Oh,
don't,
that's
I don't
so
know about
good.
that. But apparently he's going to be the master of ceremonies. The key thing about this, though, is they've already said this is going to be closed door, no cameras. This is not going to be televised at all.
I'm sorry. You're gonna do this show. You're not gonna televise it. Why don't you just tell everybody ahead of time, you know some racist shit's gonna get said?
Yeah, some stupid shit's going to get said, and we don't want that
I
shit to come back
really,
to
really
us.
hope a bunch of people just don't show. They're like, no, we're not doing this.
It's unfortunate, but people are going to show up. Um,
Oh, I'm talking about the talent.
oh, talent. Oh yeah, possibly. Um, yeah. This does come as a PR risk, obviously. Is it an unnecessary risk? Is it a necessary risk? I don't know. I'm not the one in those rooms, nor do I want to be, because that's a decision I don't want to have to say yes to. Um, but good Lord, I think that's probably a bad idea. So moving on. Um, Alicia Taylor's absence. And
Oh
Mike
yeah.
Rome's last minute fill in on the European tour.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was just kind of a unfortunate thing. Taylor missed last week's show due to an illness, and so Rome had to step in and handle that. Um, John Cena's wild reception in Europe was something that's massively been talked about. WWE was thrilled with the crowd's response to him. The environment was described as one of the hottest tapings in a long time. Cena obviously got a bunch of very explicit chants
Oh,
that I don't know if they didn't understand them for the first half of it or if they were letting it run a little bit.
I think they let it run because it is a little harder to understand them.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
Godzilla. King Kong.
Oh, these allergies have been awful. I think it was a little tougher to understand them at first. But I definitely think that once they really got going, they went, "Ooh, maybe we shouldn't." Here's
Maybe.
my thing. Again, this goes back to why we're on Netflix. Why do we care?
Yeah.
You need a 7-second delay it somewhere else, fine. But why is Netflix beeping this stuff?
Yeah. It's a little strange. Especially since like we are, if I'm remembering right, because I don't have cable anymore. It's not on USA at all at this point. It's only
Not in
Netflix.
America.
So if that's the case, yeah. I mean, why are we taking the opportunity for that? Couple other notes just from the European tour. Um, Lyra and Zoe were both at the tour, but did not appear on Raw for some reason. No real statement as far as why. Several European wrestlers like Mike Di Vecchio and Angle Blank, I'm sure I butchered those names, worked as extras. So just some local extra talent there.
Okay.
Um, Ludwig Kaiser also was doing rotating opponents at the house show, which we'll talk about more of that here in a second. The post Raw Dark match was Cody Rhodes versus Dominic Mysterio. And a lot of
Okay.
times, those after dark matches gives us little tidbits of things that are going to happen in the future. I would not be mad if a certain Latino Heat's
Also,
son got the green briefcase next year. I would not be mad at that at all.
also on Monday night, he picked up the Intercontinental, and they got a picture of him doing the Eddie, looking down at the title.
So it was so
I'm
perfect.
so look. I understand that he is Ray's son. We're not. He is who he is. But the fact that he's got the long hair, he's got the mustache and everything, he looks like Eddie.
Yeah, he does, like, just flat out.
So I am all for them doing things like this because it makes sense.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all. Um, I feel like those little nods are nice, especially with him being a heel at the moment. Um, Obviously, at some point, if he rekindles with his dad and becomes a face, which I'm sure that's eventually what we're turning to,
I hope not.
changing it to Uncle Eddie is completely fine. But at this moment, play that little thing up. It's fine. It's a perfect heel move. Um,
Having him stay heel is the best thing for him. He's going to be the Miz. He
mhm,
can go kind of face, but he's still going to get booed.
yeah. Um, to run back to Ludwig Kaiser there for a little bit. So at recent live events, they have been testing Ludwig Kaiser as a face while in Germany.
Well, they're in Germany.
Yeah, but still,
I,
decent little shift. I think he's going to be
when
a
you,
great face when that happens.
yes, but when you get into somebody's home country like that, it doesn't matter what they are,
Yeah,
they're getting the pop.
yeah. Um,
I'll tell you right now, them being overseas for Cena's first show is not a coincidence.
no,
Because had you done that here, you're going to get a decent number of cheers. Over anywhere else?
yeah,
No.
I gotcha. Before we go on to the next topic, Chris McCarty in chat, thank you for joining us here. A way to bring back Miro, have Chase U reforming and Ridge take issue and threaten them so Andre calls Miro to be the muscle.
If I'm bringing Miro back in, he is not going anywhere near NXT.
I mean, that's fair enough.
Absolutely not. That man is a former U.S. champion and could have been a world title holder at one point when Del Rio had the belt.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a chance I'm running him back through NXT.
Do you think it's been long enough, though, that maybe we need a little reintroduction?
No. I'm telling you right now, especially if you hit that Rusev music, place is gonna go crazy. If you bring him back as Rusev,
So
they're gonna lose it.
with that thought in mind, we've seen on Twitter they have renewed their vows. Apparently, him and CJ are back together now.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, did you not notice that? Did you not see that?
That's why she didn't call me back.
Damn it!
No, I didn't see that.
We had a good thing going.
Right?
She
In my
called me
head?
Dolph. It's fine. Uh, yeah, no. Yeah, on Twitter it did say that that they've renewed their vows, and so they're back together. From my understanding, apparently his mother had some health issues, and so they were both taking care of her, and then just things kind of rekindled.
Where did you see this?
It was on Twitter a few days ago. Of course, it's the internet. It could be wrong too. I also saw that Adam Copeland can't take a loss because he can't lay on his back. So may also have been a problem. Sorry about that. My dog yelling
Okay,
in the
there it
background.
is.
Um,
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna be this person. WrestleOps posted it until she posted or he posted. Whatever.
I don't disagree with that. So, as far as reports are seeing, they have renewed their vows and they're back together. I'm going to say this: if Rusev came back just with Rusev, I feel like it's been a little too long. I think AEW kind of did him dirty. I do think a small, like just a quick run. I'm not talking be down there for a year, but like a quick 6 months just to let's get the crowd back used to him again. Maybe run the vignettes of him starting and like he wants
Right.
to reclaim NXT for himself and da 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 da. But if you have CJ with him and it's Rusev and Lana together again, yeah, by all means, throw him on Raw, hit that
Take
music.
him. Here's the thing, too. And if you're gonna do it, have him go out and interrupt. If they decide to face turn Cena at some point, have Rusev be the first opponent.
Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. He's one of the opponents while he's heel.
Ooh, because then you get Rusev over as a face.
And you flip that.
Flip the script. Shout out to Layla Gray. She got married.
Yes, you did.
Luke Curtis. I don't know this dude. Apparently, he's a wrestler. New Japan Dojo.
Yeah.
So
Um,
props to her though. She's a doll. She was on Heels Call one time and was just sweet as could be.
oh,
So
nice. Travis Scott's in-ring future was questioned to Fightful to see if they knew anything about what was going on because of that botched hit. WWE is apparently not pulling the plug on his involvement right now. He has been doing some more training to try to, get better with things that are more performative rather than actually cold-cocking their champion and busting his eardrum. So plans are tentative, but they're still moving forward so far. There's also some questions about the Bloodline members that are missing because Hikuleu and Lance Anoa'i have been signed to WWE and have just kind of been there, and no one's done anything with them. So Hikuleu
I
signed months ago. Go ahead.
I would say they're gonna wait till after Mania. The Raw after Mania. Or at Mania, the
Yeah.
debut at Mania, because Roman Punk Seth, Roman rebuilds the family.
Yeah. Well, because Jay's doing his own thing now. Jimmy is trying to build that. We'll talk about Jay. We'll talk about that. Hold your thoughts.
I have to give Jimmy a ton of credit because there's Sean and Marty, and it was obvious.
Mhm.
He is doing really well for himself, even as a solo star. Like I'm here for it. I'm liking what he's doing. It's not fantastic, but it's fun.
Yeah. It's he's building his own niche, and I like the idea that like his thought process, I assume, is like all of ours. He saw where his brother started his main event rise. It was with the mid card title. He's looking at LA Knight going, well, then I'm going to take that one and I'm going to prove that I'm just as good. So I like that thought process. Obviously, we're going to get probably a multi-man match for the U.S. title. That kind of got everybody around it right now.
I'm a little concerned about the number of multi-person matches we're going to have.
Yeah, because they kind of saw that the IC title was going to do the same thing. We got the triple threat for the women. There's a lot of multi-person matches going on now.
Oh. I was like, what the fuck am I seeing behind me? The TV is reflecting in the mirror.
Oh. But so Hikuleo was signed months ago, but it hasn't been factored into creative at all. He last wrestled June of 24. He's been listed on the internal roster, though, this entire time. So he's just kind of there enjoying catering. So we'll see what happens with him. Lance Hawaii was signed. Then he got injured partly into 2025. Chris is right here. He also said in chat that he is now part of Evolve, so he's been doing some Evolve stuff. But
who has? I'm sorry.
Lance Hawaii.
They just announced Jada Parker versus Stephanie for next week for the NXT title.
Ooh. That's gonna be a good match. She ain't getting
and
it.
then
That's
Fallon
gonna be a good
wants
match.
her. Oh, Stephanie's going double duty.
I do want them to get one of those titles off of her quick. I don't want to do this her having two titles.
I think she's going to put it back on Fallon next week. They're going to make her do double duty.
Have that be the second one, and then she drops it.
WWE posted this. It's about what was happening. April retweeted it with, Fallon, I don't want to hear from you for the next 2 to 5 business weeks.
There you go.
Her Twitter game is getting to be really good.
There's some question on Netflix. There was that wonderful OVW wrestlers documentary that they did with them. It has officially been said there's not going to be season 2 for that.
Okay.
They were in talks about a big live event, though, streaming on Netflix, but nothing's came of that either. The struggle with that indie promotion in Kentucky kind of played a role in that decision. Because essentially, OVW at the time of that taping was already still kind of failing, and they're still not doing great. So
gotcha.
I understand not wanting to hit your wagon to that, not knowing how that's going to come out. I do kind of hope that WWE puts some of their stock into OVW. I mean, that was their original training ground back in the the 90s. So I'd love to see them kind of take some of that and do maybe like an ECW deal of like, hey, we'll shift you some money to take care of some stuff.
But you're going to take some of our people when we need them, and yeah. I think my biggest concern is this becoming they have their hand in every independent company, and we're back where we started with Vince owning everything.
Yeah.
And I know it's not Vince. I'm not saying it is him, but first of all, he keeps showing up, and I'm willing to bet money he shows up at Mania.
I hope not. There's still, so the rumor's been squashed a couple of times, but there's still some rumor that he's talking about some venture. And apparently there's some talent that's like, yeah, I'd go work for him if he opened another thing up.
Bye.
Yeah, have fun.
Good luck. First of all, good luck getting a TV deal.
Yeah.
Secondly, good luck getting an audience that's going to satiate that man's ego.
Yep.
Because if you start over, you're not pulling AEW attendance.
No.
Because you're not getting these top-end stars that you had. So, may the odds be ever in your favor, bro.
Yep. Chris, I hope that does happen. I've been saying that for a long time. So he says in chat, I think WWE is slowly building up unmasking Axiom. He seemed frustrated with himself for the loss last week and on Monday. I have been saying for a long time, like, A-Kid, first of all, he's got a decent looking face. Like, I've always said, like,
not ugly.
Yeah, it's like, why? Like, I understand some of the times when they have masks, because I'm very much like Bobby Heenan of like, yeah, if you got an ugly mug, cover that shit up. But he's a decent looking guy. I do think they need to work on that name though, because his name was A-Kid. Give him a name if you're gonna take it off, or just keep calling him Axiom. That's fine, but take the damn mask off. Like, we all knew who it was the moment you put it on him. A TNA Sacrifice, there was a close call. Mustafa Ali almost had a serious injury against Mike Santana. Ali seemingly dislocated his jaw, but managed to correct it and then finish the match. There's no expected time
that
off.
match was fantastic.
It was. There's no expected time off. He says he's fine. He's been cleared, so everything seems to be fine with it. But yeah, during the match, dislocated his jaw. I could not imagine. Like I've seen the manly thing of like they dislocate their shoulder and they bang it back in. I can kind of understand because it's a ligament holding it there. If you freaking knock my jaw out, I gotta like.
I'm gonna just go.
Nope, I'm done. I'll put up the X myself. Come get me. I'm done. Good Lord.
Go ahead. What's next?
No, that's actually the last news story. So go ahead. What were we going to say?
I'm sorry. I was listening to Jada because I caught the no contest.
Mm-hmm.
No contest wrestling with O'Shea Jackson Jr. and oh my god,
the other guy.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't think of his name. But they had an interview with Jada, and I really enjoyed that interview. That was they did a really good job, and it was a really good interview.
Yeah, I've caught a couple of clips of it. It does look really good. Those guys are massively entertaining.
Yes.
O'Shea Jackson Jr. and TJ Jefferson.
TJ Jefferson.
Yeah.
Damn.
And the No Contest Wrestling podcast. Hopefully someday we'll get numbers like that. I don't have a famous daddy. Neither do you. So.
See, his Twitter game is solid too. O'Shea's Twitter game is pretty good.
It is. He's really good.
He knows his stuff.
Yeah, I like he's carving out his own niche too. Like he's not following in his dad's footsteps. He's just kind of doing his own thing and still kicking ass at it. Chris has a question here just before we move on to 3 count. Do you and Tori believe in the mystery partner for Jay next week?
I don't think it's Joe Hendry. And I hate to say it because I'm not a fan, but I think it's Ilya Dragunov.
Ilya was fired.
What?
Yeah, they let him go in that last round of releases.
Seriously?
Yeah. So Hendry makes all the sense in the world. They're in Glasgow. So it makes all the sense in the world. I don't want it to be Joe Hendry.
I don't either.
That's just a placating crowd move.
If it is, it completely takes away. No, hang on. I'm not finding anything saying he's been released. They're saying he's injured. He tore his ACL on a live event and was out 6 to 9 months back in September.
Could have sworn I saw that he was in that. Yeah, I could be wrong too. I thought I saw him in that list of people being let go. We're just a podcast of dumbasses here. It's okay.
Right. We just work here.
So it does make all the sense in the world. I would rather it be Jimmy, to be honest. They're all over there.
Yeah.
You know, hey, because it's one of those things of like, we always talk about things that make sense, right?
Right.
Like, all right, you accidentally hit me in a tag match this week, and for some reason we don't talk at all until the next Monday. I don't understand that. That doesn't make any damn sense. So in the same course of your brother is in this tour with you, why would you not just call your brother? Be like,
I got you.
Hey,
I
man.
hear you. Bruh.
You know, we were like greatest tag team of all time, so
everything I can find says he was not released. He's still just dealing with the injury, or he's
okay.
Cleared to be back. I mean, it happened September.
All right.
So
Torn
if
ACL,
he's healthy,
that's rough.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And that's a good call too. I do think Hendry's just a little bit too much placate. It's like you're in Scotland, bring the Scottish guy in.
Here's the problem.
I'd love them to bring in. Hold on, I'd love them to bring in Grado.
That'd be kind of funny. The other problem is, we can just all admit it. This Jay Gunther thing is not entertaining.
It's
not.
It's not.
It's not entertaining. You can't tell me I'm wrong. You can't. It's
I
not entertaining.
You're right. I can't. We'll talk more about it later.
If you bring Hendry in, he 1000%
Overshadows.
overshadows that by a mile.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do it. If you do this, you're destroying Jay, especially after Monday.
Yeah. All right. Well, so we can get into more of that. We'll go ahead and run through 3 count real quick. I want to go ahead and start with mine because I feel like your last one is one that we're gonna probably talk most about. So, my first one is LFG, and I feel like every week, like I've been bringing this up, I'm loving this show. I understand it is not 100% real. No reality TV is. They have this storyline going on right now that one of the members of Team Bubba was injured week 1. And so he had to be replaced. But he has been showing up being a dick every week. And Bubba's getting pissed. One of the greatest things I've ever seen. There was actually a moment. So this last one, it was about making factions. That was the plan.
Okay.
It's like all your teams are going to be factions. Come up with a faction name. Come up with a gimmick.
Okay.
And you're going to have a 4v4 tag team match.
Okay.
Which, first of all, for I think it was 3 of the kids, this was their first match ever.
I'm sorry. Their first match ever was an 8-person tag.
Mm-hmm. Sitting in front of Booker T, The Undertaker, Mickey James, Bubba Ray, X-Pac, and Eric Bischoff. And a group of local talent. There was a small little group of people, which I assume were just local guys. Jesus Christ, I could not imagine that being my first match. But so Eric Bischoff and them are all watching the matches up in the crow's nest, right? And this kid comes up into their area where they're sitting by themselves watching what's going on so they can kind of vote on what it is, and starts just chatting it up with Eric Bischoff. Like, hey, what's up? How you doing? What do you think about the team here? Like, what do you just chatting up? Bubba Ray gets up and he's like, you get the fuck down now. Move. And pushes him down the stairs of where they are. So that was great. But that aside, the creativity of doing some of these, of course, Undertaker went more dark. It was like a Slayer of Souls was the thing he was going for, which was a lot of fun. It was a fun little gimmick for them. Bubba's team, he did the Dudleys, and so he spun it off that Dudleys from his time were their daddies, and so it was like dances with Dudleys with this was the Australian girls.
That's fantastic.
And he's like, I don't know how he got to Australia, but whatever. Sign Guy Dudley was this other guy's. Big Dick Dudley was Cutler, which was the guy that replaced the other guy. And that I forget which Dudley. Oh, Sign Guy Dudley was Xena's, which is Xena is Barbie doll 2.0. Blonde, pretty, acts like she's not that smart.
Is she the one that asked Taker about using his move?
Yes. That wasn't
stupid bitch.
No, that wasn't Xena. That was one of the girls over on Mickey's team. But
okay,
she asked only because Michelle McCool told her to. Because she was like, you need a move that you can do on anybody. So there's the Gugu Plata, also known as the Hell's Gate, which just happens to be my husband's move that I think would look good. But you need to go talk to him about using that move. And he gave it to her. He let her use it.
Did he?
Yeah. He was like, the fact that you had the guts to come up here and actually ask me for that move, you got my respect. Go ahead. But anyway, it was a really good episode. This week, I actually got a sneak peek of, because usually I don't watch it until the day after we stream. But I got it a little early this time. This one was about mic work. and presence in the ring.
Is this where Punk's there?
CM Punk's there.
Okay.
The little prick comes up after everybody's done their stuff, sits cross-legged in front of Punk, and proceeds to...
The one that's not part of the show?
Yeah. So I'm like, this is the
Why
greatest
do they
gimmick.
keep letting this kid in the building?
That's the gimmick. It's fun. I haven't heard that, Chris. I'm gonna have to look that up. Chris says feels bad for Zeta Steel, was bullied off of Twitter by people saying that Megan Bayne should break her legs in her match at GCW. That's rough. At number 2, I love what Nick Nemeth's doing.
Come on. Yes, we're live.
Yeah. What's up, dude?
Hey!
Oh my God, you're so stupid.
That is not our normal mascot.
Yes.
Grace the Gremlin is not home
Too
today.
big. No, Grace the Gremlin is coloring her hair.
Oh. Oh, hey.
See?
Oh, okay. So you did come home. You had a migraine?
No, Mary's at work and said she had a migraine.
Oh, I thought you were saying Grace should say she has a migraine.
No, Mary did.
But it feels fitting.
It is. It's a Braun Strowman shirt.
Yep.
They're too small, huh? Ain't that a bitch?
But anyway, so Nick Nemeth had a great match.
What?
Do you want to order something?
You gonna go get it?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He was part of an 8-man steel cage match at Sacrifice. Did you just zoom yourself in?
I didn't do anything. I muted my microphone. What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
I don't know what's happening here. Did you make sure you could hear me, first of all? I thought I would.
Yes, I can
You
hear
know.
you. Yeah, everything's fine there.
Okay. I don't know why I'm zoomed in.
I don't know.
Really awkward.
That's okay. So he had a great match. The big turn was at the end of the match. It was the Hardys, him and some young kid. I don't watch TNA a lot, so I don't know who the young kid was. But had a great match. At the end of it, they won, and then Nick Nemeth proceeded to attack Matt Hardy.
I'm pretty sure the guy was Leon Slater.
Okay, there you go. See, you remember shit that I don't, so valid reason you're here. But the only thing that I found kind of funny about the whole situation, though, is it was obvious that Ryan was locking the cage door, and the camera kept going to him, and the commentary wasn't saying shit about it. I'm like, you should have, like, why is he doing that? Maybe have Nick look confused at what's going on. Like, why are you doing that? Like, something to play that off, because it took him a long time to get that door locked. And my last one is John Cena's wonderful, wonderful promo. I listened to a little bit of Busted Open before we got on here, and I think LaGreca said it best. If WWE wrote a script of how that promo should have went, they could not have written it any better than what happened. Because the entire world is waiting for this new John Cena. John Cena with the suits. John Cena in all black. John Cena with no music, with serious music, with rock music, something different than what he's doing. And he calls that out, and he goes like, look, no, you don't deserve new music. That's me on that track. That's my song. I'm not changing my song with my voice. I'm not changing my look because this is my look. This is what I look like. This is what I wear. You don't deserve something different than what I've been doing myself. Him turning that on to the fans, and then even being able to call out not just the Cena sucks people, but the Cena go Cena people, saying that you guys are just as bad as the others, because I'm coming here, I'm saying I'm going to retire. I'm said I'm leaving. And all you guys want to know is, what do we get out of this? What matches are we going to get? What changes are we going to get? What different Cena are we going to get? That's all they cared about. Not one of you sons of bitches called me to ask me how I feel. An amazing way to turn it around. I think he shut down everything that people were worried about. Like we said, he got those shut the fuck up chants and all that, and Netflix let it go both times for a little bit before they started bleeping shit. They did start some "We Want Cody" chants, which then prompted Cody Rhodes to come out. And I think this was just as good too, because how are we going to start being interested in Cody Rhodes and John Cena unless Cody Rhodes wants to buck up against us? And him basically saying, like, look, you're coming out here, you're whining, you're complaining, you're being a little bitch. I don't want to face this John Cena, so I need you to go find John Cena, so that way I can face him at WrestleMania 41. A good way to call it. Mic drop, walked out. It's amazing. I love the way we're telling this already. So now to yours. First one, Megan Bayne. You want to talk about her and her domination of the women's division there?
Is that followers up there?
Yes, on different platforms. So I feel like I'm really close. I'm not close at all.
You are. I don't know how that happened.
I don't know why either. So you go on, or
I'm trying to see if you can see where your views are. How many people are watching?
no? That's why I have this down.
She cannot. I can't.
I can't. He can. We have 6 people watching on Twitter, and 2 people watching on YouTube.
I don't know how many people are in.
None of them remember you.
Here, I'll say bye.
Just go.
I'll say
Just go.
I stayed in the house. I gotta step out of the house.
Oh, and sorry, before you get started on Megan Bayne, we also got to hear. Hi.
I tried turning the other camera off.
Okay.
That's the laptop camera.
We also got to hear Vince's favorite song, the "Na Na Na Na" song,
Yes.
because they decided to sing that song.
So Megan Bayne was just wrecking shop Saturday night. Beat up Thunder Rosa backstage, and then beat her up on the stage again and in the ring.
Did her F5, which what did she call? Do you know what she calls her F5?
The Megasis,
Okay,
which
decent name.
isn't a terrible name.
Yeah, it's a decent name.
So then Tony Storm comes out for a promo, and I'm just gonna see if I have anything on my settings that's messing with this. She's doing a promo, and there's literally a picture of Megan Bayne as she's coming up behind her to hit her, and Tony is oblivious because Megan's about a step behind her, and you can see her one arm is like this, like up in the air. The other one is pulled back, and you can see the punch coming. And I'm just like, that is probably one of the best pictures I've seen them get in a while.
Yeah.
But it's obvious they're pushing her towards the title. This obviously brings up our questions about Camille.
Mm-hmm.
She could have done this. This could have been her.
Yeah, it could have been.
So why isn't it?
Yeah. Well, and Chris puts in chat, and I kind of agree. Like, some of the things that I've seen from her might be her, or it might be whoever told her how to do what spot. But she does seem like maybe she's a little rough in the training area. Maybe needs to be like kind of trained a little bit more on some stuff. We had the situation with with Thunder Rosa with the chair situation. She does look like she's a bit stiff, but then again, we see people like Randy Orton, and he looks stiff too, but he does it safely. So
hang on.
Okay.
Oh, okay. It's just preview for that roast to WrestleMania.
Okay.
But it's on Peacock. They would just said something about. I thought it said something about Peacock, and I'm like, wait a minute. They're not going to make that mistake, are they?
No, they're not going to put that on TV. There's no way. But
yeah, I'm sure that she is a little rough. Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. But yeah, like it could have been Camille. Like there's no reason why it couldn't have been.
Right.
Other than the fact that we don't like her, so we're gonna keep her off TV. We've
For
got
whatever
the
reason.
Ray Phoenix situation. But it's on her instead.
Yeah, I'm curious as to. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah. I will say, so if they've got her on a path to face Tony, if there's anybody in that company to make her look good in the ring, Tony can do it. So
True.
If they're wanting to use it, because here's the thing, as far as a presence is concerned, she looks like a fucking star.
Yeah.
The presentation, the fact that she's like a foot and a half taller than all the girls.
Yeah.
She looks like a star.
Tossed Statlander around too, which
yeah,
no small feat.
No, not at all.
They put up a picture of Chelsea Green from tonight. It says, caption this. She said, me, when somebody says they haven't pledged their allegiance. That's solid.
Oh. Your next one you want to talk about, we joked around a little bit about, and I saw that you replied to friend of the show, John from Sure Shot Sports and from the Lowdown. Jay botched a dive.
Badly. And
fans are supporting him. And I feel this makes me feel bad because we had a situation not too long ago. And I'm going to let you take it from there.
Here's the flip side. Now, John Anthony called it out. He said, if you're dragged AJ Francis, you should be dragging Jey Uso.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 1 out of 50, Jay messes up. I'm going to give it a little more slack than 1 out of 1.
Yeah.
I know AJ had done him on the Indies,
mm-hmm.
but he hadn't done it in WWE.
Yeah. This was your first
1 out of
live
1
on the show trying to do it.
1 out of 1 looks terrible.
Yeah.
1 out of 50? Yes, he should definitely get some smoke for it. Do I think he deserves the AJ Francis level of treatment? Absolutely not. It's apples and oranges.
Yeah.
I understand that both of them are basically the same thing. But, like I said, 1 of 1 or 1 of 50.
Yeah.
It's
he should get some smoke, though, for no yeeting himself over the top rope, though.
Yes. And he should. He should absolutely take some criticism. You botched the fuck out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Your finish looked terrible. The match was 3 seconds. I feel bad for Austin Theory, first of all. That's a whole different conversation.
So if we have time at the end of this, that was my Twitter topic of the week that I want to talk to you about.
That poor fucker. Jesus.
Because I've seen a question come up no less than 30 times on my Twitter today about Austin Theory. And it's the same question everybody's asking. So
what happened?
Well, just the question, let's finish your 3 and then we'll leave that.
So it was just one of those things. Okay, see, this is the 3rd time they've had Ricky talking to somebody from AEW. Stop doing this. Stop it.
But they're like, look.
He's talking to Spears.
It's where you were. It's the thing.
He's talking to Spears in his group.
Y'all were together.
Jay should definitely take some flack.
Yeah.
Do I think it's enough? Do I think it's should be anywhere on the level of AJ's? No, not at all.
Yeah.
It was a one-timer. He's, like I said, 1 out of 50.
To talk a little bit about that match, though, because like you brought that up earlier, and I wanted to wait until we got the Jay talk over with before we talked about it. I don't think these two have the chemistry. Like a lot of people are blaming Jay. Yeah, people are blaming Jay for not being ready for this. I think this is him and Gunther just don't match.
They don't.
Because Gunther's not even entertaining in this. Gunther's not doing a job. Gunther doesn't look good in the matches that he's had
To
with
be
Jay.
fair, I don't think Gunther is entertaining anyway. Watching him and somebody chop the shit out of each other is fun.
Yeah.
But I don't find him entertaining.
Yeah. I agree with you.
They're going to put the title on Jay, which I'm fine with.
Mm-hmm.
I almost wish they had pulled that trigger at Elimination Chamber. Jay says, you know what? I'm tired of waiting. Impromptu match. Gunther's like, I'm not even ready. And Jay's like, I thought you said you could take me anytime. Jay wins. Jay gets the title. Now you have a 7-week build to Mania of Jay going, hey, bitch, I got your title.
Yeah.
That makes it entertaining.
That could. To me, though, I still think the match would be lacking. I don't think they work well together.
I have very low expectations for their match.
Yeah.
I really hope it is not a main event.
I don't think it would be. They're not treating it as one.
I hope it's not. It should be. What they need to do is stop saying the Royal Rumble winner gets a main event at WrestleMania. They get a title shot at WrestleMania.
Yeah, which I heard. So I talked about that with friends of the show, Big Mike, and Sped, and they'd mentioned that they thought this last Royal Rumble they didn't say main event, and so maybe they've already taken that out. And if that's the case, that's the way they should be going, because sometimes those stories aren't going to be main event level, and we can't say, okay, this one's going to main event the night if it's not something that's as important. Like right now, we've got this possibility of Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk in the same match. Between that and Jay and Gunther, I want that match.
Yes.
We got the three-way with the women that happened because, just to quote our friend, played the best game of Lick It and It's Mine.
That was so well done, Big Mike. Well done, sir.
Rhea took that.
I don't think Rhea. Look, I've been watching a lot of Suits. I understand contract law. I don't think Rhea understands contract law.
WWE doesn't understand contract law because if you remember, there was a moment where it was supposed to be Triple H versus who was it? I don't remember who it was supposed to be. Triple H versus somebody. That's Shawn came out, super kicked the dude that was supposed to sign the contract and signed it himself.
It was Benoit.
Oh, that's right. And so
that's what made that a triple threat. But that's no, that's what I'm saying.
So WWE doesn't understand contract law either.
I hate to say this, and I'm noticing this pattern. We are repeating really old storylines.
Mm-hmm.
Like Attitude Era storylines. We just changed them up a little bit so they're not racist.
Yeah, no, because we're not TNA.
Speaking of...
To that point, here's your third.
That fucking bitch.
Tessa Blanchard. If you don't mind, I want to say my piece about this, and then I'm gonna let you rant as much as you want to rant. I will step out. My only thing about this is that you have been dealing with this woman getting you are racist chant, or getting the we coming for you Blanchard chants, which God loved the fans that came up with that one, because that's amazing. And
Booker T is smiling when he hears it.
Mm-hmm. You are telling me that the way you're going to try to get around this is you're going to Latino her up as if she can't be racist. She's Latino. That's not how that shit works. That made it worse. Because according to a good chunk of America that watches TNA, now she's appropriating because it's the white girl saying gracias to the waitress at the taco place.
Why don't you just have her say, I have black friends?
But on that, I will let you go ahead. I'm glad you got some water because I think you're going to need it.
Okay. So, first of all, I don't watch a ton of TNA wrestling. I just don't. I don't think I have it on the weekly. I did see that you can get their annual thing for $160.
Yeah.
and it gives you all of the pay-per-views, and I'm like, and the show each week.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not bad. But
it's not bad. They're still pushing for a better TV deal, so we might see a better deal for them going forward.
With them having the tie-in they have now, I wouldn't be surprised if they get it.
Yeah.
So first of all, like the first match on the pay-per-view is Tessa Blanchard and Xia Li, whatever her name is now, and I'm sorry I don't remember it. So
Lei Yingli, just to go ahead and throw that out
didn't
there.
Mike Rome do Raw Monday?
Mm-hmm.
He's at NXT. Jesus Christ, did they put him and Chelsea on the same plane? First of all, why did they let him ride with Chelsea? Anyway, great match. Yeah. I hate to say it. Great match. Great fucking match.
Yeah. That's the thing. She's uber talented. She's Tessa fucking Blanchard. I'll give her that.
Xia is amazing. I can never say a bad thing about that woman because every match I've ever seen her in was entertaining as hell.
Yeah.
Blanchard has on tights that basically have her name in the colors of the Mexican flag.
Yep.
And I'm just like, and she's getting "you're a racist" chant, and then some of the others in the crowd are like, no, she's not. No, she fucking is. You might want to do some research.
Yeah.
I don't understand signing her to begin with. And I don't understand how you thought this was going to go. Because I'm not going to say every wrestling fan is like this, but a good portion of wrestling fans nowadays are not putting up with that shit.
No. We've done it for too long with Hogan.
They're in El Paso, Texas, and she's a racist chant.
Yeah.
Like, you're not getting away with this. Why are you trying? At some point, somebody backstage has to go, you know what? It's like hiring Tori and Mike. It's not worth the trouble.
Yeah, don't put us on commentary. That shit won't work.
Oh, God. That would be so foul.
You can't have two Pat McAfees on commentary.
Right.
Just two ADHD squirrels.
First of all, you would be a great play-by-play guy.
I appreciate the compliment.
I think you would be a great...
I'm too ADD for that, though.
Nah, I think you would get zoned in and be a great play-by-play guy. You'd be a great play-by-play
I would be zoned in because they'd have to get me one of those dog cones that just have a monitor in front of it.
We're going to put you in the coal mine. That's what we're doing. I just don't understand at what point does TNA go, nah, this isn't worth it. She got "you're a racist" in Texas. Like, it's Texas.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I just don't get it. Well, I don't get why you were doing this.
Like, it's the if we would have been playing to her being Latina this entire time,
right,
I would have no issue with this.
I'd still say she's a racist, but I agree with you.
But this, to me, it made it worse because this looks like you are just putting that out there to try to quell the fact of, well, she said some racist stuff. Well, but she's not white, though. That doesn't fucking matter. And now you're playing on your heritage to kind of make that a thing.
I'm just waiting for somebody to call her out for gentrification. Okay, this is where we're at.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Them doing the Booker T chant I missed, but that's fucking funny.
Yeah. The Booker T chants, I haven't heard them here recently, but like one of the first times that she showed up live,
so good.
Guys were tweeting on their phone. It was like, "We coming for you, Tessa. We coming for you."
That
Like, you
instant
guys
regret
are
on Booker T's face will still be the greatest, one of the funniest things ever.
for sure. But yeah, no, and from what I'm seeing online, fans were also not impressed by this presentation of her.
Because then later they show her with Santana getting something from the city. And I'm like, you have the roster you have, and you ran this bitch out there?
Yeah. Well, and it's the PR again. Like, you know, we did the PR thing with this roast of WrestleMania that we're gonna have. This is a PR nightmare too. Like, how do you handle that? What do you do with it? I think we've just taken a wrong turn. All right. Well, so to finish the night out, the question that I've seen constantly since Monday night has been, what are they doing to Austin Theory? What has happened that has caused them to shove him so far down that he got squashed on a Monday Night Raw by, and I love Jay, shitty ass spear. Because that wasn't even a spear, that was like a chest bump. I don't know what happened in that. They should have called an audible and had him get up and spear him again, because that looked awful.
Yes.
Or do the
Here's
splash
the
or
thing.
something. Like, something should have happened.
My first question is, did he walk in on Stephanie McMahon changing? If that's not the case, this is one of the biggest falls from grace I've ever seen.
I'm going to make a comparison, and I want you to follow me on this.
Okay.
I think, in this instance, Austin Theory is CM Punk. Vince McMahon is Paul Heyman. He was Vince's boy. Vince loved him. He thought he looked the part. He thought he talked the part. He tried to shove him into a weird, like, you're my son, but you're not my son thing. He had some sort of affinity for this boy. So much so that I think it has soured him on the current regime. And so now he's just kind of there. Kind of like CM Punk was when they were trying to make him ECW champion.
I agree. I do also want to point out what
Chris, kind of taking your thought and twisting it, did Eddie Thorpe walk in on Ava doing the nasty in her office?
I mean, that's fair. Here's my thing. I do want to also point out, today is 5 years ago that we got the question, who the fuck is Griff Garrison? Somebody posted that on BlueSky and I was cracking up. I watched it like 4 times because I fucking love that skit. Who the fuck is Griff Garrison?
Very good.
So
that's
5 years ago,
that's my thought. Like, that's the only thing it can be, because the dude is uber talented.
Make any sense?
They should have already finished this will they won't they between him and Grayson. Him and Grayson should have already had a blow off match. The stuff that they're doing on socials, not their socials, because I don't think they want that to be out there on WWE socials, but like, you're seeing people like camera phone with him like out in public, and they're like, Grayson's in the car because he's playing heel and he doesn't want people to see him and join the crowd. Austin Theory's out there like signing stuff for the crowd and shit, and they're looking at him going, Theory, do a yeet for us, just one yeet. He looks over his shoulder.
I saw that.
And then, like, doing shit like that. The dude is uber entertaining. And he's great in the ring, and he looks the part.
He does. I think the problem we ran into was him and Grayson went about a month too long, and now you're stuck with it.
Yeah.
Because you would have to basically rebuild the whole split of them for it to make sense. For it not to be stupid.
That's why, like, I know we do a lot of fantasy booking here. To me, I would have ended them in that 3-way with Oba.
Yeah.
That would have been the thing that broke the back right there. Finally, they're like, they actually fight. They actually tussle in that match. And that's what causes them to lose easily. Not just Oba tearing them apart like he did.
I would have had it as one of them is about to win it, and the other one pulls him off and tries to snake the pin, and the pushing and shoving starts because Oba's down. Do it while he's down. Pushing and shoving starts. You know what? I'm tired of you. I've carried you this long. Blah blah blah. Throw hands. Oba gets up. They push him away to keep fighting.
Yeah.
And you do this 2 or 3 times, and then you have him smash them and get it over with. Then on Tuesday, or the next show, one of them comes out, calls out the other one, and they come running in, slide in, and it's on.
Yeah.
And then you have your story.
Or you completely give up on him.
Yeah.
One of them just leaves the match.
Yeah.
The other one's confused. The other one gets beat down by Oba because he's got his back turned to Oba. Ball game, we're done. Either way, you started something that we can actually work with on that. And finishing that in NXT is fine because nobody in WWE cared because you didn't have them on TV anyway.
I was scrolling through Twitter today. This is off topic.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm with you. We need to finish something with them because nobody cares about either one of them.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do for Grayson Waller is put him back in NXT and put a title on him.
See, I'm going to flip that. I think the other way around. I think you could do something with Grayson on the main roster now.
I say run him back just because I don't think he got the run he should have gotten in NXT.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. I only look at it as in you put him on the opposite end of Miz, wherever Miz is, have him be on the other show, and then that's the talk show segment for that show, and that's fine. You do that with him. He's that guy. Theory, I think he needs to go back to get rebuilt. I think if Sean got his hands on Theory, I think he would make a big deal out of him. Without Vince, I think he would be a big deal back in NXT, and then we could build him back up to come back to the main show.
That's fair.
They got to hit a reset on him somewhere.
Yeah. So I've been on Twitter some today.
Mm-hmm.
Jose the assistant. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Do you follow his Twitter?
Mm-mm.
My man does not pull punches. Whether it's AEW, WWE, TNA, New Japan, AAA, any of the others he's like,
anybody gets a smoke.
He's like, I want AEW to succeed because I like seeing people work.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, but I'm going to call them out for what they did. Somebody's like, you work there. You have no loyalty, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I don't work there anymore. He's like, I love AEW. I love the people. I had a great time there. But I'm going to call out things that don't make any sense, including booking. And I'm like, we need more of this from people that are in it right now.
Yeah. I want to hear his take on Andrade trying to buy Darby Allin from Sting. I want to know what that's like. Why did that story happen? He's just like, I will buy your son. What?
Can we just accept the fact that they're not taking that title off Moxley until Darby comes back?
Especially with the last interview he said, because he flat out said, you know, you don't know what it's like to win a title. You don't know what it's like to climb a mountain. Did you have to heavy-hand it that much to that story?
Which it makes me wonder if Darby is coming back sooner rather than later by him throwing it out there now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get that at All In, because if you're going to change the title, that's the place to do it.
Yeah.
Hopefully Kicking Out of 2 will be there.
Yeah, it is something I like to hear more of, is people that are in the business now, like
being honest.
Yeah, just it's still the tribalism thing, like, and that's seems to be like a topic that always comes up in every episode we do, because it's one way or the other. It's either you have people that are part of a company and they're harping that company so hard.
Yeah.
Like MJF actually had an interview here recently where he flat out said, if a main talent, like high on the roster WWE talent, is saying they're not watching AEW, they're fucking lying.
They're either lying or
they
they're
don't.
not as good as they think they are.
Yeah. Because why would you not ingest as much of the product as you can to learn more, to appreciate more, to understand more?
100%.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong.
No. And that's absolutely it. There's no reason why at any point we should dog on one company or the other for being better or worse than the other. Does TNA have things that they need to work on? Yes. Does AEW have things they need to work on? By God.
That's strong.
Does WWE have stuff that they need to work on? Absolutely.
Seriously?
But we can enjoy things about all of them.
Yes.
If you like
100%.
AEW, you're cool with me. I have no problem with you. If you like TNA,
So-
that's fine. If you like NWA, that's fine.
Somebody was replying to him and said, there's a way to word things. That's my opinions, and I stick with it. Have a great day. He said, I don't tone down the way I speak for anyone in capital letters. I say what I say, and I stand by it. Jose said that. And that's how it should be.
Chris, I'm not sure if I understand what we're talking about in that message. Is Tony Khan back on his Twitter shit of
I haven't
calling
seen
out WWE?
anything, but I mean,
'cause
we all know that there's
he'd tone it down here recently that I've seen. So I mean, I would be surprised if he decided he was going to start doing stuff again. I think they took his Twitter away from him.
I hope so.
But
I can believe a number one seed
Oh.
feeling slighted.
I didn't ask you to play a dang thing. Sorry. My little hootsie decided she was going to start talking. But yeah, I don't think there's any reason why we should not raise all of the ships up, because it
Yep.
just makes everybody better.
Yep.
So for sure. Well, anything else you want to go over today?
No, I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy the people dragging this stupid Road to WrestleMania thing. I'm definitely looking forward to this. I think this is going to be fun for me.
Oh, well, I'll have to look into that. He says apparently Tony Khan had said something to Sean via Twitter last week. And that's why we've been kind of doing the Ricky Starks, doing the AEW tour, is what people are thinking. So I'll have to look into that. If that's the case, they need to stop that shit.
Yes.
There's no reason to fight about it.
You're a distant number two. Calm down.
Well,
Your little brother.
And the other one, like on the other side, like you don't need to punch down. Like don't do that. Walk on. Do your own thing. Punching down is what got WCW shut down. But
And giving people huge contracts with creative control.
that too.
Huh?
I said that too. I do want to shout out. We got a message on Facebook, which we haven't got a Facebook message in forever.
Right.
But we got
'Cause
one
we're never on it.
talking about how WWE has now started making like channels for their old content on YouTube.
Right.
And started asking, like, what if we bring reviews back of, like, let's grab an old WCW show?
I saw that.
Yeah. Like, that's not a horrible idea. Maybe not a whole
Oh,
show,
I'd be
but like
down.
bring back like a match or something and just kind of review it online. I don't see a problem with that. I've seen that who is it? Wrestle Talk, I think they do it. And so they'll put the YouTube speed to where it skips like every 6th frame. So you're not watching the actual video, like, so they get away with it because it's not doing the thing. You can't hear the audio. I'm like, okay, we might be able to do something like that.
I'm down for it. Like, it's old stuff, and I love it. I will say I find it interesting that they're putting all of this on YouTube when they already have it on Peacock.
I think the reason being, though, is I think they realize, first of all, that they're going to end up getting it off of Peacock. Like when their deal with Peacock's done, then you'll find all that stuff on not all that stuff, but all the new stuff. So the pay-per-views will be over on Netflix and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, so that's where all that'll be. I don't think Netflix wants to bring in all of WWE's stuff.
Yeah.
And so WWE's just like, all right, well, we'll put it out to ourselves then. So our library
Bring
will
back
be...
the network. Just make it more user friendly because that network was trash.
The network was trash. However, their organization was good. And it's one of those. It's like you don't know how good you had it until it's gone. Because then they moved us over to Peacock, and we went, we
And
can't
it's
search for
trash.
shit over here. How the hell do I
So-
find shit? But anyway, that's exactly right, Chris. Is punching up is getting AEW close to having some issues too, because that's you don't want to punch up to them.
I've heard from an outside source that the backstage at AEW is just a clusterfuck.
It does not surprise me in the least. I wish all that. I feel like I'm talking about the presidency. I wish them all the luck in the world. I hope they succeed. I don't like it.
I'm not going to say that about the presidency. But yeah, I just this is what happens when a fan is running a show.
Yeah. That would be nice. Okay, so that brings up the last topic we can bring up real quick, just because we saw the vignettes. Phoenix is being teased. He's being teased on SmackDown.
There's not a
So
look. If they don't put them together, that's a huge fucking mistake.
I don't disagree, because
With this, but I would move Penta to SmackDown because that SmackDown tag team division is absolute fire right now.
but wouldn't that be more reason to keep him on Raw? Is to try to build that back up?
Honestly, I'd be perfectly fine if they took the tag titles off of Raw and just put them on SmackDown.
Don't disagree with that at all.
Can you imagine the Lucha Bros and the Street Profits with the way the Street Profits are doing right now? Uh-huh.
Or DIY that you have over there, Motor City Machine Guns that you have over there. A lot of those matches would just be fire.
Pretty Deadly has really impressed me recently.
But that's the other thing, is that it seems like all of your legitimate tag teams are over on SmackDown. We need to shuffle that up a little bit and get like some of those legitimate tag teams over on Raw to make it actually look some way, because we're losing Judgment Day. JD got hurt, and so he's kind of out of the thing. We've got the Dom versus Finn thing going on, so we're not doing a legit tag team there. Viking Raiders.
Did you see JD's interview with CVV?
I did.
That was so good. His whole thing about his giant head was funny too.
Yeah, Chris is wrong. That's a giant head. That's
He punctured a lung with his own rib.
mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that hurts. I mean,
Ricky did not just say that to Izzy Dame.
I wouldn't mind seeing Penta versus Phoenix. I think that'd be a banger match. Would be back like in
It'd be fun.
Lucha Underground days. So if we do that and then bring them together, that'd be a thing.
Izzy Dame said something to Ricky, and his response was, "I always measure up in the right places." You wilding for that, dude. You wilding.
Hey,
Stop it.
He young single kid. Let him do what he do.
I mean, fair.
But anyway, yeah. I mean, I'm with. That's why I brought it up, because like I think bringing them together. That's the only thing that makes any damn sense, is to bring them together. Like, you've been kind of putting this Penta singles run on hold, playing with Kaiser and playing with Dunn. But I brought that up to do this, though, because Chris said in chat, he's like, have them get together and then have them hire Jose the assistant to manage. I'd love that. Jose would be a great fit. Be a lot of fun. Well, before we close out, though, a brand new installment of the Slick and Shiny Lawyers. Travis Tanner makes waves when he arrives back in town and accuses the firm of withholding evidence. Next on Suits.
I remember that episode. Watched it like 2 weeks ago.
I'm
in like season 7 at this point.
How you liking the new Suits?
I've only yeah, I'm caught up. I need to watch the new one because Harvey's supposed to be on this one.
Yeah.
It's building. It needs to move along, but it's building.
Yeah.
There's a lot of backstory that they've got to fill in, and that's their downside.
That's the only problem I'm confused on when I watch the show, is because they only have like one little small ticker that says like this happened 10 years ago or whatever, and then that goes away. So if you blink, you're like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? I thought his dad was dead.
Yeah. His brother, that was crazy.
Oh, the fact that he was seeing his brother. I don't think we're done with that yet either. I think that's going to be a thing. I think it's going to be like did you ever watch The Good Doctor?
No.
Okay, very similar. He would see his little brother that died. And so I think it's going to be like one of those things of like pivotal moments in his life. He's going to see him to help push him through whatever it needs to be pushed through.
Yeah.
He's going to take care of his big brother. But anyway, yeah, it's a good show. Aleister Black on March 30th in Amsterdam.
I don't think they're bringing him out till after Raw, after Mania.
Yeah. What do you think the 4 stands for? Why are we saying 4?
Huh?
The vignette that everybody's assuming is for Aleister just has the number 4.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Okay. Yeah, it's smoke and the number 4. Chris says that he's assuming that it's for April 4th.
100%. Come here for a second.
Which is a SmackDown.
Okay. So Jordan Grace bought these boots.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
And then tonight on her way into the show.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, let me find it. She did a video with the where is it? Was it on WWE's? Grace will appreciate the SpongeBob thing.
Big Mike's in the chat. Welcome here, Big Mike. I had to paraphrase you earlier, just so you know. So I had to take your "look it and she owns it" line, but we gave you credit for it. It's your line. Absolutely was hilarious. I don't think she understands how contract law works, though, because her name's not on the contract.
Oh, that makes more sense then. That'd be great.
There you go.
No, it's Patrick.
She's got those stupid boots on. I knew you'd appreciate that.
Is mayonnaise an instrument? No, Patrick. Mayonnaise is not in it.
And that's why I showed it to Grace.
There you go.
That right there is why I showed it to Grace.
Big Mike says that we should see one of the promos before he left. I've actually seen a theory on that, and apparently it was like something about like chapter 4 of his thing that he was reading was the last promo that he did. So a lot of people are kind of reverting it back to that, which could be absolutely. So could be April 4th, could be just we're retelling that story. I want Big E to come back and whoop his ass, because we never got that done. He came out and kicked his soul out of his body, and then we never got to see them fight. Messed up. So I think we can end this with John Cena did nothing wrong. The New Day's right.
Not wrong. Yep.
I will say it is a lot of people doing the same role in WWE right now of like, you fans fucked me up.
I'm kind of okay with it just because it's different than what we've always gotten for heels.
It is, but so we've got Naomi, we've got Cena, we've got the New Day, and all of them are like, fuck y'all fans, man.
Hey, I have a question.
What?
What's Bianca's favorite time zone? EST.
Did you see Rhea Ripley's picture in front of the graffiti?
Yes.
Who wrote that? It's messed up. All right. Well, Chris, Big Mike, thank you for joining us in the chat. The people that are watching us right now, hit a follow, like the stuff. It's all free. It just helps us. Makes it a better show. No, Chris, we do not need choppy to PP. No. No. That never needs to happen again.
No.
Again, it's we're telling ruthless aggression and attitude era storylines, but less racist, not more.
Guess we're trying to get away from the racism.
Yeah. Unless it's Tozawa, I'd be kind of okay with Tozawa doing it for some reason. I don't know why.
No. Stop it. We're not doing it. It was racist then. It's even more racist now. I don't care who's doing it.
He turns
Stop
on
it.
Otis.
No.
Anyway. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. As always, we are a podcast that believes in a safe zone for people to come and watch wrestling. Wrestling is a buffet. There's something for everybody. Please stop the tribalism. And with that being said, I am Michael. This is my audio tag team partner, Tori. And we will catch you on the next one.
Here's the cover. Can he do it? Kick out.